The Daily Wire personalities got together for their backstage sit-down, and Candace Owens went off on an absolute rant and shredded Taylor Swift. Watch this.
Like, she's totally insane.
Yeah.
Like, she's the most toxic feminist that's ever existed. And what she does is basically the threat is that if she doesn't get what she wants, she writes a song about a guy and then has 15 million girls singing the songs and drops little clues so they know who it's about. I mean, it's totally psychotic if you really think about it. I don't think you appreciate how psychotic that is, that you can't date her for 2 weeks without her writing a song about you. I mean, what she did to John Mayer as well, he was like, I literally did nothing to her. Like, we went on one date and I didn't deserve this.
You're ruining
and then there's a bunch of like 10-year-old girls whose brains are not developed who then go and attack whoever it is. Like Scooter Braun's family, his young kids literally had to go into hiding and get security because Taylor Swift wanted out of the deal that he legally purchased her catalog of music. Yeah. And she wrote this, you have to go find it on Tumblr, this like glorious rephrasing of basically like, my dad signed a contract, a legally binding contract for me when I was 15. He now has the catalog because he purchased it. And she was just like, you know, as a woman, I sat on the floor and I wrote these songs. And then they tried to kill Scooter Braun's family. And he did nothing wrong other than purchase her catalog.
But, you know, as I listened to this and thought about doing a video on it, I asked myself, like, why do I care? Why should I care about this? And when it comes down to it, I have 2 daughters, and I desire for them to live meaningful and fulfilling lives. And who they follow, admire, and the ideologies that they take in matter. And if I'm being honest, me, my wife, and my kids, like, we like listening to Taylor Swift.
It's me. Hi.
Also, the entrepreneur and creator side of me admires Taylor Swift. Is she crazy? Maybe. But there's a good side to that, which is what makes her great. Like, we admire Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Steve Jobs, and Tiger Woods because of their level of obsession to their craft. And do these types burn or sacrifice other areas of their life in pursuit of this level of greatness that very few ever achieve in their life? Yes, they do. Their mentality oftentimes does negatively affect their relationships and personal life. This level of achievement certainly comes at a cost. We don't get Taylor Swift and all of her artistry and epic shows without her craziness. It's her greatest strength, but it's her greatest weakness. Like, we don't get Jordan without him being an asshole. We don't get Steve Jobs without him demanding perfection. But here's the thing, and where perhaps what Candace said does offer a shred of truth. If we don't get that downside of ourselves under control, it will eat us alive. It will ruin us, our relationships, our reputation, and our legacy. Taylor Swift could look to examples like Madonna, Chelsea Handler, Steve Jobs, etc. as models of what can happen if you continue to neglect and sabotage your relationships and personal life, specifically with regard to marriage and family. It's well known that Steve Jobs regrets how he handled his personal life and relationships. You can go too long. You can go too far. Think of U2, for example. They kind of just sound tired and old at this point, and I think this decreases their legacy and legend. Like, go back and watch some of their shows and listen to some of their stuff from the 90s and the early 2000s. Like, it's not even close. Like, it's way better than where they are now. But think about people like Freddie Mercury, John F. Kennedy, Princess Diana, Martin Luther King Jr., Abraham Lincoln, and others who left us wondering. Sure, death stopped these people, and who knows, maybe that's the only way for some people, but it's not ideal. There is something about stopping when you might have something left in the tank that leaves people wondering and wanting more. It adds to the legacy and the legend. You don't have to die to have this effect. You can do it by focusing on and building other aspects of your life. When it comes to Taylor Swift, I really hope she doesn't progress into a middle-aged feminist singing about her high school boy problems. That will get old and become less and less admirable over time. Her shows will go from epic to sad, like Madonna at the Grammys or Joe Biden's presidency, for example. At some point, every one of us needs to face the fact that long-term and as we age, our career diminishes in importance, and our relationships gain importance. The lie of feminism for women, which Candace is right about, is that a career and independence will provide women with all that they need in this life. This is a damaging lie. A marriage and children give us the opportunity to have the deepest and most meaningful relationships that this life has to offer. In fact, career and independence pale in comparison to these, especially as we age. We progress as humans from dependence to independence to interdependence. It's in the eventual giving up of ourselves for the deepest relationships wherein we find the most fulfilling and lasting meaning in this life. Many are falling for this lie in our society. And one of the main purposes of my channel is to help people recognize and understand the importance of marriage and family in pursuit of a fulfilling life on earth. Taylor Swift is 35 years old, and we don't need another self-destructing, man-hating, toxic modern feminist leading girls down a proven path to destruction. I hope Taylor Swift finds a husband, gets married, has kids, and finds the meaning and fulfillment within all of it, and uses her once-in-a-generation creativity, talent, and influence to lead millions of girls along the path that leads to a life in full. She seems to want to build a better world, and this would be a great way to do it.